As many people with iDevices know, the battery seems to drain all too quickly, and the 3.0 and subsequent updates certainly have not helped things either. There are lots of different ways to improve your battery life, such as turning off push notifications, disabling extra processes if you are jailbroken, among many, many others. However, there's a much simpler way to get more out of your battery: calibrating. Let's get this one started. To understand why calibrating would work, first you need to understand how rechargeable batteries, indeed for any device that uses a rechargeable battery, not just iPhones and iPods, work. Generally, a battery will be made to last a certain number of charges before it starts to lose a considerable amount of storage capacity. However, the battery's capacity is constantly changing as you use the device, so your device might hold a certain amount of charge right now, but in 3 months it could be somewhat higher or lower. Inside each battery, there is a small charge meter that checks the amount of charge and reports it to the device. There is a preset low point where it knows it must shut off, and a max charge point where the battery knows that it cannot take any more power. However, because the overall battery life constantly changes, you must reset these preset numbers. If you don't, then your battery meter will become wildly inaccurate within just a few months, and make you think that the battery is almost dead, when in fact you could have perhaps even hours left. While it may sound complicated, it's actually quite simple. All you need to do is burn your battery entirely down until the device shuts off by itself, then immediately plug it in and let it fully charge to 100%. What this will do is reset the lowest and highest numbers in your battery, effectively recalibrating it. This isn't a terribly time-consuming process. Doing it 3 or 4 times a year should be fine, and more if you think you can. To demonstrate how much this can help, let me give you some, admittedly rough, estimations of how far off your meter could be. I hadn't done this in nearly 6 months, and my battery meter would go up and down all day. I usually like to charge it when it's around 15 to 20%, and I was usually getting down to that after about 4 hours of use, mostly on Wi-Fi and playing games. When I went to calibrate it, the results surprised me. The battery didn't quit for more than 2 hours after getting to 15%. The inaccuracy of the meter was easily apparent. After going down to 8%, it suddenly jumped up to 30% and slowly made its way down until dying at 2%. After recalibrating it, there was no more random skipping of the battery, and it easily lasts well over 6 hours now. So before you go killing off everything in sight in search of that extra hour of battery life, you may want to try calibrating the battery.